What to do, folks? Howdy. Greetings. I hope you're treating yourselves so well, and of course others. My name is Clair, and this is a channel where we like to do tarot readings. Today, what's coming towards you and why? I haven't done that in a long time, if ever. But that's besides the point. What's coming towards you and why? Thought we should get a little nosy with it. So, pile one. The Knight of Cups. Okay. So, the Knight of Cups represents moving with grace towards your destination. I think a obvious path forward, either with someone revealing their true ways or you finally reading between the lines, in essence, seeing the signs for what they are worth. This knight is holding up a cup, and it almost seems as though you could be saying so long, or it could be saying cheers. It's ambiguous. So it could be so long, cheers to us, cheers to this situation. It almost feels like a situation where you're happy that it happens, no matter what. I'm hearing The Truth by India Ari. So it's kind of like she has a line where it says basically that she doesn't care if things fall apart because she's happy that it happened at all. So the Knight of Swords in reverse. Oh no, this would be the Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, apologies, the confusion. So perhaps what's coming towards you is a state of disbelief is being banished. Character is being shown. The will to move forward will be identified. It's almost like someone who you can't tell their motive, because this looks like a piece in a chess game, chess match. So it's almost like someone who you find more systematic in your life, who you can't identify where they belong in your life, and you don't have any sort of feelings of severity. There's no strong feelings per se. Maybe at times you felt really, I'm hearing harshly, but it almost feels like you don't want to care about the outcome. The Magician in reverse and the Wands in reverse. Something about the situation you don't think about moving forward. It's almost like you hate when things are moving around you and you don't know what's happening. But if you think deeply about the situation, and I think you have, it almost seems as though you truly don't know if you want it. For what it is, you don't know if you identify with the situation, if it is something that you're willing to take on yourself. You enjoy it, per se, but alas, is it just a fleeting feeling and you want to just take control of the situation? I think you're trying to understand where control begins and where reality ends. Like where you're trying to, something in your life is flickering, like it's on and off. It is unsatisfying, it makes you feel like you're powerless in a sense. But if you were to try to reach for that power, Six of Cups in reverse, and then Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay, so maybe as of lately you've been feeling like you need to take action towards something because it is burdening your mind, whereas I think you need to step back. The situation at hand wants you to not want it to happen a certain way. So you approaching things in a certain, if you approach a person, a place, or a thing in a certain way, the results are not going to be the outcome that you desire, and it will be alarming. If you approach something and you try to state some sort of facts towards it or say something how it is, it's almost like you laying down the law in a certain way. I think you feel like you need to take action towards something just because that's in your nature or it's around you and it feels unsettling, unnerving, not the kind of situation that you would normally be in. You tend to get yourself out of these sort of situations, but this has stood the test of time. It doesn't necessarily have bad feelings in your life, but the Six of Cups it was in reverse, so it makes me think it's bringing out it's holding up a mirror to you. This person is very much like you, and I think that you are learning a lot of things from, if you're in an environment, you're learning something from the people in that environment. If it's just a person, that person is kind of mirroring you in a way. And the Hierophant, it certainly doesn't taste good all the time, but if you look at it on paper, it's perfect for you right now. This is not what you want, and it's not really how you conduct your lifestyle, but it's beneficial. It's almost like taking up a small job. And if it's not that, you're taking up like a small task in your life, and I keep on getting the word unnerving. The Two of Wands in reverse, and it's not for you to make any strong decisions. It almost feels like you'll have these small nudges to lash out or state certain claims on things in a situation. It almost feels like an entitlement, but it doesn't, in your mind's eye, it almost seems like you're being like, I need clarity, or I need the situation to evolve or devolve, something like you want it to budge. You almost want to push something to see what happens, but you don't need to do that. You need to keep going about your daily, and it seems a little monotonous, and malaise does seem kind of to take over a little, right? It feels kind of like a fog lately, and even maybe a funk, and you're going through the motions with a person that you don't have any sort of claim to, and that is not something that you really subscribe to ever in life. You kind of want to have a title or something like that, but for right now, I think that you not lashing out, of course, naturally, you wouldn't do that anyways, would you? But I think there's a sense of keeping your cool and allowing the weird times. It almost seems like life is providing you with this situation, but it might be just kind of unsettling. It just doesn't seem right or something. You keep on getting like these feelings to do something, but I think that's just your subconscious or your second self trying to take control. And right now you're in a sense of relax. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. It almost, you have like this looming thought and process routines in your life that you like to go through with people, places, and certain things. But right now you kind of need to just let life wash over you. What's coming towards you is peace, serenity, solace. It will be very much what you want. It is a period of time where you're in the eye of the storm, and it's better for you to kind of just like full forces ahead on the things that you are dignified to control right now. And this situation that you're currently thinking about, the thing that is bothering you, is not something that you can control. You're kind of just having to go through it. Because this card, it's the Eight of Pentacles. It almost feels like a written contract. You decided to go through this in this lifetime to overcome it. It's some sort of karmic tie or relation, and it will be beneficial, rewarding. Want not, waste not. It'll be good. You got this. Yay, pile 2. Hello. Okay, so pile 2. What's coming towards you and why? And with that, let's get it. These cards are so tiny, but still robust, I want to say. Okay, you got this. Pile 2, let's go. Knight of Batons, which is the Knight of Wands. Okay. This person looks like they're holding the wand and they're looking at it all wide-eyed. Like, it almost feels like you've been dealing with a task or a subject, maybe a flight of your career. I don't know how to say it. A leg of your career, a schooling. You've had to do something for a stint of time to go through it in order to get to another period of your life. Whether that was like, maybe you had to go through the justice system. Maybe you got arrested for something. Maybe schooling. Maybe you had to travel somewhere for a period of time or live somewhere. There's a thing that it's coming to an end, but you've been doing it for so long, it's almost like you are petrified or fried. I want to say fried. Your system is scattered. You're all over the place because you've been dealing with confrontation for so long, and you're about to have to, the King of Cups. I think there's a situation where a figure in your life is wanting to show you more nurture and development. I think there's a way of speaking to someone that will be really mentally rewarding. If it is maybe a mentorship or someone who helps you learn something creatively or learn something, a skill in some way, form, or fashion. I said creatively and that just kind of slipped out. But it's kind of like this person helps you build in certain ways that provides you with your own layer of what you're trying to do. Like the skill that you're aiming for, you're going to develop it further through someone, either just by their motivation or them teaching you in some way. You're going to learn this person as well. I think this person, if it is not a mentor in some form or fashion in your life, teacher, maybe someone you just look up to, they could be someone, because these things kind of sound like they're on a level that's more skilled with you. this could be someone that you're learning with too, if it's not someone that knows more than you in essence. This could be a person that you're learning a skill with, if it is a life skill, or it could just be learning about yourself in a certain way. It's the Five of Cups in reverse, and then the Five of Cups upright, and then the Knight of Swords in reverse. So the Knight of Swords, this person looks petrified again, and they're holding a sword, and they're on a chicken, and it's really adorable. So it seems as though the will, you're trying to disassociate peace from self-care. I think that there's a sense of you do have a routine where you do settle down in certain ways, but I don't think you're any less high-strung after that motion or something. Something about your life is you need to delegate who to speak to. I think because there's like the Five of Cups, you're a person who has never really enjoyed therapy or speaking out to people, speaking up for yourself, I think is a task. I think you enjoy people coming to you for advice, but you speaking about the things that you want deep down to a person that you are deeply interested in, or a topic that you have high regard for, something that you're very sensitive towards, you're not really open and inclined to converse about. You don't really want to argue about something that you're very passionate about, and I think that that's where this person is going to come in. I think that a person, the Two of Swords in reverse, will kind of bring it out of you to understand your mind better, how you maybe should find outlets, or maybe this person will help you be an outlet in some way of the aggression that you have felt for so long. It almost feels like, because of this Knight, like this person is a faculty to making this outlet easier. If they have access to some sort of thing that makes it easier for you to be more creative, or put more out in some way, or if they have a place for you to be, it's almost like a person facilitates your growth in some way by being there and understanding where your hostility comes from. But there's a thing where you will want to take control of the situation in certain ways, and you will need to resist that urge. It almost seems like, when I say take control, it almost feels like lashing out. And at the time, it won't seem like that, because maybe this person does have qualities, the Empress in reverse. It almost feels like you have a sixth sense for the situation, and it feels like an obligation, making it something that you're disinterested in. If you're not disinterested, it almost seems like you want to be, because you're holding it at a distance because you don't want it to overtake you. You're resisting in some way. You don't want this thing to have full access to you in some way, form, or fashion. You're putting up a shield, or you'll want to put up a shield. Or the Temperance, I was kind of saying at the same time, you'll want to put down your armor for once, because you have a very strong sense of self, and I think that this person makes you more playful and gentle, And the thing that's coming towards you is a sense of self where you identify. Maybe there was a time where you were short-tempered or had a short fuse towards situations. You cut people off, or you were just kind of like, give me this information, like very quick. The dry personality, you didn't want to hear this or that. Just, you don't like sugarcoating. You wanted real people, but now you're kind of understanding the complexity of everyone kind of has something to teach you. This person comes out of left field maybe, and I think you are realizing that there is something to be learned through every person, even if it is only for a period of time, or this person is a nuisance in some way, form, or fashion. I think that there's a learned process of dealing with anger, and I think that speaking about it, you'll find, is a lot more fulfilling than it has been in certain parts of your life. You'll find that in the right hands, speaking about the things that you're going through will be not prolonging it. Like, these people will just have identified things that you're going through, and they see it for what it is, and they don't bring it up, and they bring it up randomly in joke form or in a lighthearted update sort of way. They're not hounding you. They're not being dogmatic about the situation. If you give this person information, or these, even if it's people moving forward, it almost seems like, but it seems like a person. You'll give them information and they won't take it and use it in any way forward against you or anything like that. It'll just be information that is retained and delegated forward. It's just something where you don't have to, the 6 of batons, I didn't even see it. I pulled it and like put it down absentmindedly. Success. And you don't even see it. It's so simple. It's almost like, for what it is, you'll finally just get to absentmindedly speak on things and them be things that are understood and known. They won't be a problem, and they won't be things that are necessarily brought up again if they don't need to be. It's just a situation where people will know more about you. This person will know more about you, and it will be beneficial to a learned process of you. Someone learning you and it being safe. And that feels really good. That's what's coming for you, and it's going to be really nice. And if you might be going through it already and just kind of wondering, because safety is a spectrum. It's scary at times, and we kind of need to go through the ebb and flows of relationships with people. Sometimes you do need to speak your truth in order for things to even begin. Or you need to trust people for them to be trustworthy, sort of situation. Give them the benefit of the doubt. So, with that, you gotta know I love you. Bye. Nice of you to join us, Pa 3. Hello. This is what's coming towards you and why. Okay. What is coming towards you and why? Pile 3. The 2 of Wands. And with that, decisions. I think maybe you're having to make a pivot somewhere in life to attain higher goals. 5 of Pentacles, you've plateaued at some point in time, and what's coming for you is, if you want to divert from the end feeling like a sacrifice of time, you can get out before. perhaps, because the Two of Wands here looks kind of like a burden, doesn't it? A snake that's agitated with you. And the Five of Pentacles is rams butting heads, two against its one-on-one. And there's a skull, a ram skull as well. So it almost seems like you would be battling yourself and time if you prolonged a situation. The Two of Cups, something that you've fallen out of love with. It's allowed you grace, money, effort. Something about the time has not been to no avail. But alas, the end is nigh. The end is here because it almost seems the Two of Cups, there's nothing for you to give, and there's nothing for you to pour into, I'm hearing emotionally, in this situation any longer. But it could be work, or, you just got the Lovers in reverse. A decision that is going to make itself very obvious in the long term if you don't see your way out of it. Oh my gosh, they're butt naked. I don't know why I just tried to show you more, but I'll put that down. It is almost like, because there's a Three of Swords symbolism on this card. It's bizarre because it's the Lovers, but there's a Three of Swords right there. So it almost seems like something that brought you relief, right? Is at one point in time it was good, but it's it's giving you grief now. It is grief. Because the Chariot, it almost feels like you are on destiny's path of higher wanting, like you're craving something in your life, and it's showing in forms of boredom. You are maybe lashing out, or you're taking on new hobbies. You're trying to reach for certain things, and there's certainly ways in your life that you could be taking control. The Eight of Wands, the Chariot and the Eight of Wands are very similar cards as well, symbolizing being on your path, being in forward motion. So it's almost like you're working in a lot of ways of your life forward motion, and what's coming for you is a blatant need, a startling end. The Hanged Man in reverse. And it's almost like you won't have the time. It will be a deficit if you take the time out or deal with the situation later in the long run. It will take advantage of you. The situation will become overwrought or spoiled in some sort of way. You will feel anxious about the things that you need to do towards giving any further towards the situation. If you don't taper your way, like wean your way off of it, get out of the situation in some way, form, or fashion. If it almost felt like, I wanted to say an addiction for a second. So maybe it's an addiction through a situation or a pattern. There's something where resistance is definitely to be had. You're emotionally resistant to this. The Hanged Man in reverse makes me think that life isn't going to make it obvious for you, though. You will be able to move forward in certain ways of your life, like slick as butter. I wanted to say it's slick as shit for some reason. It almost feels like life will almost luge you into comfort, or discomfort will not be easily seen in this situation right now. The Seven of Wands, it almost seems like you have a sense of knowing where things are misaligned in your life right now, and you're allowing them to stay for some, I want to say, godforsaken reason. And I don't know why I felt like being that abrupt. So maybe it almost if you were to assign your value to all these things that you're doing in your life, this would feel like, why are you doing this? In turn, for what? What is this all for? Because you're moving forward in a lot of ways of your life, but you're being drained in certain aspects. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse, because I want to do upright and reverse at the same time for some reason in my heart and mind. It feels like you're growing in certain ways of your life that are very beneficial, and you're seeing upheaval result, but there's also a creeping dissatisfaction, and what's coming for you is you need to allow yourself to grow. And you know how in certain situations things are degrading, they do not allow you to reach your full potential. If you're in a pot that is too small, your roots will not develop the way they need to. You will be a bonsai tree, whereas you could be a giant, hauntingly a big tree. You could be way bigger, way better, more fulfilling creative lifestyle could be had in that. It's a gamble for sure. The Four of Wands just came upright, and that is a situation of soul's design, things that are meant for you, you reaching out for and you achieving, but it is a gamble. This card certainly looks frightful because it's got teeth on it, it's got die or dice, whatever, and then a bunch of batons, and even what is that, lightning, and an owl that's like staring you down. So it almost seems unnerving, but your future is bright and candid. I don't know why I'm coughing. It's like a canon event in your life. I feel as though you have the opportunity to achieve more well-rounded existence for you, and things are creeping up towards you where you could have opportunities in bigger realms, more fulfilling, satiating ways of your life. Could it be identified that I don't even think you see as of right now, because they look scary and intimidating. I think you're very timid towards change or emotional irregularity. You don't, something about the situation, you look at it and you're like, I don't know, this is unattainable or harsh in some form or fashion, but it is something that you long for. It is something, because I like the colors, I like the colorway in this a lot, and it's staring at you. It's an owl. And the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is like one of my favorite cards of all time, just because it's a proof that you're on the right path. Or you would be, you know. The Six of Pentacles. If you were giving into a situation where you could be all in, because this is a bull and it looks big and sturdy. It looks like it wants to like dodge forward, and it's almost like you want to pounce on something. You see an opportunity for what it is, and I think that you could get in where the get in's good. Something like that. It almost feels like you're itching to say something, you're dying to say something and be a certain way, and I think you need to alleviate that. I have this horrible desire to cough right now, and it almost feels like you want to scream. You want to say something out loud, and you've been holding it back for a long time, maybe looking at it for a period of time, trying to identify what it is or gauge how to go about it, maybe even approach it ever, if you should, if you shouldn't. But I think it's whereas you thought it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't, so long, farewell sort of situation, I think these things are... I'll even pull one more card. The Knight of Swords, yeah. If you have a motivation and you have a small inkling to move towards something and it feels effortlessly not scary, just moving slightly towards something slowly, I think it will be more obvious how to approach it and or keep it steady in your life, keep it successfully a part of you. I think that there's a lot of things that have been fleeting in certain ways, and you expect that to happen in this situation because it might just, that's how you identify this sort of thing in your life where you're like, I'm not going to have certain hold on it. But I think that if you are to act like this is meaningful, it is meaningful, but you have to act like it first and give it the time of day, give it a chance, give it a go. I really think that taking the reins of the situation will be better for you, because the longer you allow the glazing over of your everyday, there's a situation that you need to get out of, like we said. And it almost seems like there's so many really strong, very, what would you say, dedicated animals, sensible animals, things that are known for either their wisdom or their virality, virile. You could feel really emotionally drawn to something, physically, sexually, business. There's something that you feel really attached to, and you need to go towards it. It's nerve-wracking, even if it shows that you need to end something else. These things are beneficial. This is coming for you. An end is coming so that you can be more entitled towards your overall goals. You're in a position where you're trying to identify what your main goals are and let go of the small, wanton, everyday tasks that just kind of have you floating around, bobbing and weaving, doing stuff like that. So, with that, you gotta know I love you.